Let's continue our discussion about various ways of how to respond to written work of students. And in this regard, the subtopic we've got like how, as language teachers, we can provide feedback on initial drafts and the final drafts. So, what are different ways to balance our feedback between these two drafts? So, to make it a learning process, to make it a more memorable exercise, which students can incorporate to not only correct or bring about changes to their local errors, but also the global errors. So there are different views regarding the usefulness of feedback provided on initial drafts and the final drafts. So, for example, uh, this is evidence-based argument that students tend to use feedback mostly when it's provided on the earlier drafts of their writing. For example, when you have assigned the topic to the students, they have done initial homework, written a few paragraphs and send it to you. So this kind of exercise between the student and the teacher can have better fruits, better results. So and at the same time, we'll have to answer this question: do the students forget the feedback which is given on the final draft? So we'll have to be careful regarding this precept, whether the students engage with the feedback provided on their final draft more effectively as compared to the feedback given on the initial draft or preliminary draft. So there is a general perception that students tend to overlook the feedback comments and just look at the grades. When they look at the grades, if it's higher grade, then they tend to read the feedback thoroughly. When it's lower grade or when it's disappointing grade, they might not read the feedback. So this is a kind of challenge for us as language teachers to have to make balance between formative and summative, like how to give feedback which not only justifies the final grade but also plays a formative role in order to encourage students to do more in terms of their writing. There are various strategies. For example, if you ask me what is my strategy, so if it's the written work, then I'll use not the red pen but the blue one, just to minimize the power differentials. And if it's online or electronic assignment, then of course I'll use track changes, marginal comments, or endnotes. And of course, now we have got this notion of artificial and intelligence, which we can use to enhance the impact and usefulness of feedback. So it depends what kind of students we have. If the students are competent enough, they might need comprehensive feedback. If the students are struggling one, they might need comments in the margins or marginal comments. So providing feedback is a healthy exercise, is a fruitful exercise, and it all depends upon the decision taken by the teachers, how to give, when not to give. So these decisions should be backed by TESOL and applied linguistics related research. And in this regard, what the research suggests is that portfolio, uh, as compared to individual assignments, can be used as an effective strategy to make students connect well with the comments provided on their work. So uh, it's always effective to give feedback uh, on initial stages and before the final draft and when the final draft is. So the question arises how teachers can address this issue while teaching to large number of students. So it can be provided in the seminar or conference manner, which we will discuss in the next module.